Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. My name is Marv Fox Jr. I want to talk to you today about the Mamba mentality. The Mamba mentality. And obviously, this video is to commemorate the life and the career of Kobe Bryant. We often heard about him referring to himself as the Black Mamba, and after a while, that name caught fire, and people who were talking about him would call him the Black Mamba. And then he had this other concept called the Mamba mentality. And often the Mamba mentality was often connected to being in the zone or being clutch. Being clutch and being in the zone was a part of this Mamba mentality. But I think people got it wrong. The Mamba mentality is really about radical curiosity. Radical curiosity. Radical can be another name for thorough or far-fetched, right? But it basically extreme curiosity. And the reason why radical curiosity makes sense is because there are some situations and circumstances that are so overwhelming, so adverse, so daunting that it's impossible to be curious, because you're no longer thinking about curiosity. You're no longer thinking or using your curiosity or exercising curiosity. You're thinking about the potential of what this circumstance may do to you. Right? So there's some certain situations and circumstances that can be so overwhelming that you're thinking about your life, you're thinking about your future, you're thinking about possible failure, you're insecure, you're scared, you're nervous, you're doubtful, so on and so forth. And you can't be nervous and curious at the same time. But if you can take that nervousness out there, that insecurities, that doubt, and switch to a mode of curiosity, you can negate fear by not only by not being so concerned by what the opposition can do to you, but by wondering what you can do to change the narrative. So when we think about Kobe Bryant's career and we think about this concept of Mamba mentality, Kobe was always curious about what he could do to create an ideal outcome, right? What could he do at a deficit? What could he do when the odds are stacked up against him? What could he do that could change the narrative? And so the curiosity is always, I wonder if I work a little harder. I wonder how I can change the situation. I wonder what would happen if I lifted a little bit more. I wonder what would happen if I stayed in the gym a little more. I wonder what would happen if I did 3 a days and I got up at 5 o'clock. I wonder how that would change my trajectory. I wonder if I worked on just one move, right? One move for 3 or 4 weeks. I wonder what would happen if I played one-on-one and I only worked on one move. I wonder how that would I wonder how that would help me to develop a go-to move in pressure situations that I could rely on, right? It was always this curiosity, right? And whether it was business, whether it was book writing, storytelling, so on and so forth, he was always curious. And the curiosity led him to do his research, led him to study his craft, so on and so forth. And because of that, he was able to do some incredible things. And so a lot of times when you see things that are daunting, instead of allowing fear to set in, allowing doubt and insecurity to set in, you want to negate those things by being curious, because you can't be curious and scared at the same time. That's the true Mamba mentality. This thing is daunting, and instead of thinking about what it can do to you, think about what you can do to negate the effect of what this daunting, overwhelming thing could possibly do, right? And so now what we work on doing with that curiosity, we're working on gaining access to our brain trust. We have this incredible brain trust, right? This incredible brain trust is a combination of your teacher, right? And your teacher's teachers and your teacher's teacher's teacher, right? You have so many generations of people that have invested in you and poured into you directly and indirectly. What I mean by that is you have your parents that have poured into you, right? Then you have your grandparents that have poured into your parents that have poured into you, right? And then you have your great grandparents that have poured into your grandparents that have poured into your parents that have poured into you, right? So you're not just getting your teachers or your coaches, the ones that are immediate, the ones that are right in front of you. You're not just getting their investment. You're getting the investment of generations and generations of people that were hoping that at some point they would teach somebody and that person would pay it forward, and eventually it would get to you and prepare you for whatever may come, right? And we want access to that. Sometimes you hear people say, I want to gain access to the ancestors, and that's real. You want to gain access to that energy, that spirit. You want to gain access to that intellectual brain trust, right? Get access to all that information and use it to conquer what's in front of you. Now, when you start thinking about everything that you have inside of you, every resource, every advantage, now all of a sudden the opposition doesn't seem so opposing. They don't seem so imposing. They don't seem so big, so bad, so on and so forth. And now you start thinking about, man, I wonder if I attack the opposition this way, I wonder what would happen. I wonder if I attack the opposition this way and that way, I wonder what would happen. Now, here's the thing. Just because you are exercising curiosity in the face of adversity does not mean that you're not going to go untouched, right? You're still going to get touched up. And now with that curiosity, you say, okay, I chose option A and I got touched up a little bit, but I wonder what happen if I adjust a little bit and attack option B. Okay, I got touched up a little bit. Okay, now option A and B didn't work. I wonder if it was because I didn't execute properly. I wonder if I didn't do something right, but I'm gonna now look at A and B and look at my research, but I'm gonna try C. So every time you take a step back or you experience a setback, you're always in curiosity mode. Right? That's how you exercise perseverance. You're never ever just taking a hit and settling for the hit and fading and conceding and forfeiting. Every time you get hit, you're processing what went right, what went wrong, right? And with every attempt, there may be 5 steps, and maybe out of those 5 steps, 3 went right, 2 went wrong. Okay, well now how can I make my adjustments so that the next time that I try, I give myself a chance, right? But if you are exercising curiosity in this process, you're always in learning mode. You're always learning. You're always gathering information, gathering data. You're always processing what just took place, and you're comparing that to all the stuff that you've done, all the stuff that you thought about, so on and so forth. So you never ever feel like you're losing. When you never feel like you're losing, you always put yourself in position to win. You put yourself in position to do something incredible, right? And I think that's what Kobe's whole career was about. It was all about being curious. I wonder what I can do if I put in the work, if I study, if I learn the patterns. I wonder what I can do, right? That can help me to take these impossible odds. 18 years old in the NBA, you get on the biggest stage in the Western Conference Finals and you shoot 3 or 4 air balls. And he was going, I wonder what would happen if I come back next summer, next year, a little stronger, better legs, I'm conditioned for 82 games. I wonder what would happen. And we saw what happened. All-star, right? And then his career was off and running. He did incredible things, championship, MVPs, gold medals, so on and so forth. The list is endless. So I'm encouraging you that as you think about hard times, you think about adversity, as you think about the odds that seem impossible, channel your inner Mamba. Exercise your Mamba mentality and be more curious than anything else. Be more curious than you are scared, intimidated, overwhelmed, so on and so forth. Be more curious and be curious about what you can do, what talents and powers you possess that could help you to affect the narrative that is standing in front of you. I hope that makes sense. Obviously, you see I got my Kobe Nike gear on, the Stealth logo, right? And just want to show love to number 24. With that being said, my name is Marv Fikes Jr. Hope that makes sense. Mamba out. Done.